Hello everybody, Sean here, and we are looking at Call of Duty Extinction, the Nightfall map, which is new with the Onslaught DLC, just came out this week. And we are looking at sections 2 and 3 of the Nightfall map, so if you haven't seen the first video where we go over section 1, make sure to go back and watch that, as you will see about the lockers, some information on how to kill that boss and get to this section where we are at. So Nightfall, like the previous map, is split up into multiple sections. In this case, there's 4. The first section, you clear out, you fight a boss. Then section 2 and 3 regrouped up because you actually just fight just waves and waves and waves. There is no boss in sections 2 and 3 in the basic sense of a large creature that is a boss. The final waves for section 2 and 3 are pretty difficult, so you could consider them boss waves, but there isn't a primary boss in the traditional sense. Section 2 is really where you're going to see whether or not you have a good group that's going to work together. So by that I mean, do you have 4 weapon specialists? Because if you do, you're probably going to have a pretty bad time here. The group you see me running with, I'm the only weapon specialist. We have 2 medics, I believe, and 1 tanking class, whose name I can never remember. But it works out really well for us because basically I'm the one dishing out most of the damage, so my primary focus was leveling up my weapons. I leveled up my handguns to the point where I could dual wield, or not dual wield, but so I could carry 2 primary weapons, and then I focused on leveling up my grenade launcher so I had an alternative weapon I could open fire with at any time as long as I had money. Of course, you can have the death machine in that place, or actually, I would suggest probably the death machine or the grenade. I would actually suggest the death machine, but if not, then the grenade launcher. If you don't have either of those, then maybe you should level up on point of contact, or just do a few runs of Nightfall to level up to the point where you do have those. As for the medics and your other class and your teammates, you're definitely just going to want to have good communication, so you have someone doing ammo, preferably a specialty ammo, explosive, or armor piercing. You're going to need someone doing armor. If you're lucky, maybe someone brought feral instincts or another team booster skill like that. If not, ammo and armor will do just fine. And then all 4 of us, and this is a good tip for any group, all 4 of us leveled up our sentry turrets a bit. I leveled up mine the least because I did want to focus primarily on damage, since I was the only weapon specialist. But if you have 2 weapon specialists, or if you have a couple engineers where they're really going to make the turrets shine, definitely make sure you level up the turrets. That also is going to depend a lot on how many challenges you're able to complete. Fortunately for us, I think we only failed 3, maybe 4, so we actually were able to level up pretty significantly, enough to max out two rows entirely, and I think almost a third one, I believe it was. But anyways, to the actual action here. Basically, you're going to do your hives the same as you would in Section 2, that is. You're going to protect the hives the same as you would in any of other Extinction section, whether that be on point of contact or on Nightfall. Just have general defensive turrets surrounding everything. Make sure you stay close to it, but you don't need to be so close that you're putting yourself in grave danger. After you destroy the first hive in Section 2, all subsequent hives will begin spawning rhinos. Typically only 1, until much later on, then they might do 2 or 3. But it will start as just 1. So it's just going to be teamwork. Make sure you're killing the right targets quickly, so rhinos take precedent over anything. As soon as you see a rhino spawn, your weapon specialist and pretty well everyone should be focusing down the rhino. If you have a grenade launcher or death machine, it's a good time to whip that out. Make sure that rhino goes down quickly. When you're just fighting the normal aliens, make sure you're focusing on the scorpions. That's the one. They jump around a lot, but more importantly, they shoot that yellow acid, and having damage over time pools of acid on the ground is just really, really bad. It can cause so many unnecessary problems, and if someone goes down in them, it makes it really difficult to pick them up. So as a weapon specialist, you definitely want to be focusing on those, but even if you're not, even if you're an engineer or a medic, if you see a scorpion jumping around, try to kill it if you have a moment of spare time. Once you finish the final hive in the second section, big alien will show up, as you saw in the video. He'll knock some stuff around and open a doorway so you can go into the weapon facility. You will get an achievement when you walk in here, on the first time anyways. And then, basically you're going to do the same thing again. This is the third section of the map. You don't have any bosses, again, but you do have very close quarters fighting. This is going to be to the benefit of the weapon specialist because he's going to be doing more damage. Typically, that class is going to carry LMGs, so the closer the enemies are to the barrel of the gun, the more damage you're going to do. As for the other classes, just make sure you're setting up your defenses appropriately. Because this is pretty tight quarters action, the turrets are actually really, really useful because they're all going to be shooting basically the same targets. There's not a lot of stuff that's going to get in their way. Again, everything's so compact that it's basically like shooting fish in a barrel. Like, the turrets are going to hit just tons and tons of enemies. So make sure you have tons of turrets up and that they're being replaced if they're being destroyed, and all that jazz. Again, you're going to kill about 3 hives, I think, 3 to 4, and then the room will grow foggy, and this final hive will spawn at the top of the map. So you're going to go up there, and basically, same thing again. Put your turrets so that they're facing mostly inwards. You can see as we walk around, we're going to get attacked, and the turrets will shoot at the targets attacking us, making our job just a little bit easier. If you see any scorpions, make sure you take them out. This platform at the top of the map isn't that big. A couple pools of acid will completely just cover this top area. There will be rhinos spawning, and this time they're not going to wait till the end of the round. They will be spawning mid-round, so make sure you're ready for that. Your weapon specialist hopefully has his grenade launcher or death machine leveled up so that he can just tear through them quickly. You saw I was able to take that one down. Unfortunately, I took myself down with it, or he took me down. Either something happened that I went down. But before this video ends, one quick little tip. In the middle of this whole area, there is a hive, and once you kill it, it opens up a room with a bunch of guns in it. These are the venom guns. They're the alien weapons. Make sure you pick them up. I believe there's 2 in there, but there might be more. Make sure you pick them up. They're very, very useful for the boss, and I can't stress, I would put 100 varies in front of that if I could without it seeming silly. Make sure you pick them up. They're not very good at killing individual aliens. It basically shoots a remote bomb. You shoot it, and then you can blow it up, and it does damage. It's not super good against little aliens, but it's very, very useful, again, with the varies. Stressing that. Anyways, I thank you for watching. I hope this gives you some ideas on how exactly to beat sections 2 and 3 and get to the final boss of the Nightfall map. I thank you for watching, and we'll see everyone next time.